finally live. Wait a minute. We finally live. Holy shit. Holy shit. Welcome everybody to the Where You Hiding show. Oh man, this is gonna get good. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Where you hiding, everybody? Where you hiding, Reaper? Where you hiding, Eagle Slayer? This is about to get good. Oh my freaking goodness. So, in this live stream, ooh, I can barely hear you. Is my volume even up? Yeah, my volume's up. I need to adjust the volume somehow. Can y'all hear me though? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Testing one, two. Type a one in the comment. I'm gonna do the slitter thing. Can you type a one in the comment if you can hear me? Let's do this, y'all. Oh, that's how you adjust the volume. Okay, yeah, there we go. All right, yeah, I gotta get used to this thing. All right, can y'all hear me now? All right, what's going on, Asia Roberson? All right, so for this live stream, we're gonna talk about how I would react to each team winning the Super Bowl this year. And we're gonna start with the AFC North. We're gonna start with those beloved Baltimore Ravens. I'm just kidding. I don't like them that much. You know, I only like the Eagles. But how I can hear you, how I can hear you, but how I would react to the Ravens winning the Super Bowl. I mean, J.K. Dobbins is out for the year. He's my Buckeye. But for Lamar Jackson, every time I just feel like every time he hits the brick wall for the AFC divisional round. There's that brick wall called the AFC divisional round. Whether it be losing to the Bills, who else did he lose to in the divisional round? Damn, he had a first round bye. He lost to, I want to say, the Titans. Yeah, the Titans. It's something about the Titans. It's something about the Titans. He lost to the Bills last year. Yeah, yeah, I did meet Chanel Jones. So, song color coded. These aren't my predictions. These are pretty much, how I'd react to each team winning the Super Bowl if they won it all this year. So, as far as the Ravens, I wouldn't lose any sleep if the Ravens had freaking won the Super Bowl because, I got a lot of friends in Baltimore, in the freaking Maryland area. So, nah, I wouldn't lose sleep. Let's see. Why do I hate every team? Part 2. What's going on, A-Fizz? What's going on, Eagle Slayer? So moving on to the Cincinnati Bengals. I wouldn't want them winning the Super Bowl. Even though they don't have a ring. In their history, they've been to 2 Super Bowls. They've lost both of them to the 49ers. Both of them to the 49ers. The Bengals, nah. There's a fan coming at me. I'm not going to mention his name. But my God, he talks a whole bunch of shit like Jalen Hurts is the worst quarterback in all the land. No, I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that. I can't deal with, people talking about my team like that, It's just, nah. So I hope the Bengals, even though Dashy is a fan of him, subscribe to him. I just don't want to see the Bengals win a Super Bowl, man. Like, nah. And Jamar Chase, I think that kid sucks. Where you hiding, Big D? Yeah, the Rams are the most overrated team in the NFL. We're going to get to them in a moment. I'm rooting for Lamar Jackson. The hate is unprecedented. Yeah, I agree. Lamar Jackson's a solid kid. On to the Cleveland Browns. If the Cleveland Browns win the Super Bowl, okay. I dropped my beer. If the Cleveland Browns win the Super Bowl, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad. If the Cleveland Browns win the Super Bowl, okay. They haven't done anything. There were times in the 80s, I want to say they've lost to the Broncos in the late 80s, back-to-back times in the AFC Championship game. And I want to say the last one hurt the most because I want to say his name is Ernest Briner. He had a chance to get in the end zone and he fumbled at the 2. They were down by 7 at that point, and they lost the game. That's the closest they've ever been to the Super Bowl. They've never been to the Super Bowl before. Big D says Baker is too inconsistent. I agree with that. You know, he reminds me a lot of Jared Goff. I really like Denzel Ward, not just because he's a Buckeye, but he is a fucking stud. That dude is a fucking stud. He picked off Ginger. No, he didn't pick off Gingivitis last year. I want to say he was part of the reason why Taki got that interception, you know, by forcing the pressure and all that stuff. So I wouldn't lose sleep if the Browns won it all. You know, they've been cursed for so many years, so why not? The Steelers, however, I do not want them winning it all. That would be a nightmare if they won it all again. They would have 7 titles. I wouldn't hear the end of it from people like, you know, one of my friends from Facebook called Mark. Those two, my cousin Ronald, freaking Mark from Facebook, my high school buddy. I wouldn't hear the end of it from them. They call us the Pigeons. Song color coded. Hayden, which team do you think is the dark horse in the Super Bowl contender? My dark horse right now would have to be my dark horse. I know Big D is probably going to, you know, shun me for this, but maybe the Rams. Maybe the Rams. Maybe the Rams, maybe the Niners. But I really think the real contenders, obviously the Packers, obviously the Bucks. And I'll go ahead and throw Kansas City in there as usual. And the Bills. Don't sleep on the Bills either. But as far as the I'm sleeping on the Titans, Big D. I don't believe in Julio Jones. That toe turf is going to catch up to him. But as far as the Steelers, no. No, I don't want the Steelers winning at all. That would be a huge nightmare. So, on to the Buffalo Bills. Since we mentioned them, the Buffalo Bills, through their history, have lost 4 consecutive Super Bowls in the 90s. And guess what? They were to every single NFC East team except for the Eagles. It was Dallas twice. They lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. 90 was the Giants. That was their closest one. And it was a missed field goal in the end. I forgot the kicker's name. You know, Bills fans, if you are watching this, like let me know what the kicker's name is. They've been cursed a lot in their franchise. You know, the Music City Miracle. Not being in the playoffs for 17 years from 1999 to freaking 2017. Like Britney Spears' album was 18 years old at the time. I always mention this every time I mention the Bills. So I wouldn't lose sleep if the Bills won it all. I did root for them once the Eagles were gone to win the Super Bowl last year, so I wouldn't mind. Yeah, we're gonna get to Daniela Jones in a minute. Y'all like that Lance Stevenson thing, you know? Hey yo. Okay, moving on. We're gonna skim through this, y'all. The Miami Dolphins. How would I feel if they won a Super Bowl? The Dolphins? You know, they're the only team ever to go perfect throughout the entire season and win it all in one season, all in one season. Would I be mad if they won a Super Bowl? Of course, of course, of course. I don't want the Dolphins winning the Super Bowl. And look at our last meeting. It was like a trick play. I want to say it was like a weird formation. It was like four guys to the left, three guys in the middle blocking, and then like four guys over there like, and then like what, the kicker was like handling the snap or something, and then the punter, he catches the ball. It was some weird shit. The Dolphins are a sleeper, song color coded, but I don't believe in Tua. You want to talk about a guy that's inconsistent? I think Tua is probably the most inconsistent cat in the world right now, in this league right now. I'm not a believer in Tua, I'm not. He's hot and cold. You know, I really think if they stick with Tua for the entire season, they're going to have an up and down season, maybe, 9-8 at worst. They do have two Super Bowls, 72-73, the perfect season, and then, a repeat season. So, and my dad is a Dolphins fan, kind of. He likes the Eagles mainly, but, Dolphins are his little side team. So it's a no for me. I wouldn't want, I would be, why Dolphins? Why did you have to win the Super Bowl this year? That's how I'd be able to react to that. The Patriots. The Patriots. The Patriots. The Patriots. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them so much. I hate the Patriots. I hate the Patriots with all my bloody fucking hearts. I can't stand the Patriots. We all know about the Deflategate. We all know about the Spygate. Timeless memories of the Tuck Rule. Some Raiders fans I know call that the fuck rule. I know my dad does. The Patriots, they must be stopped. They must be stopped. We have to make sure that Mac Jones does not win this and does not become the only rookie quarterback to ever win it all. I'm having nightmares just thinking about this. This is one of my most hated teams in the fucking world. Like, this is up there with the freaking Vikings. I mean, outside of the division, of course, this is up there with the Chiefs and the fucking Vikings. Nah, I can't do it. No. I can't deal with that, I can't. I'm definitely losing sleep if the, Patriots fans, you wouldn't hear the end of that shit if the Patriots won it all. They're already cocky. I like Mac Jones, though, the ceiling for him, I would say 12-5. I think they can go a lot of places with him. So it was a good move for them to get rid of Cam Newton. He's got something going on there, The Jets. The Jets are our final team on the AFC East palette. If the Jets won it all, a team that has never beaten the Eagles, and they've existed since like what? The 1960s? I want to say 1960. By the way, the Patriots have existed since 1960. What a fucking coincidence. They haven't won it all since Joe Namath in 1969. Just getting this little tan. We're going to win a Super Bowl versus Joe Namath. We're going to win. Bet. That's what he said before Super Bowl III. Super Bowl III is a long time ago. My dad was only 9. The Jets have been so cursed, even with guys like Curtis Martin, Vinny Testaverde, even, a flash in the pan of Mark Sanchez, the butt fumble. Nah. That's right, Big East. That's right, Beast of the East. 3 more days until the start of your bloody season, and you lose and suck Tom Brady's toes. We're going to get to Tom Brady in a minute, though. But back to the Jets. I wouldn't lose any sleep if the Jets won their second Super Bowl. The Jets, they haven't done anything to us. All they do is lose against us. They've never beaten us in our franchise history. So, moving on to the AFC South. Speaking of another team who has never beaten us in franchise history. Since 2002, their inception, the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans. I want to say the closest time they've ever beaten us was the last meeting in 2018. 2018, where Nick Foles got knocked out, missed about a play or two. We were down by 1 point at the time because, off and on, Jake Elliott wanted to miss a PAT that could have got us up 14 at the time because we blew a 13-point lead and the Texans took the lead late. So, what does Nick Foles do? He goes down the field. And then ultimately, Jake Elliott ends up saving our season. And other memorable matchups I can remember against the Texans. Nick Foles, I want to say like 4 years earlier from that point, when Chip Kelly was our coach, he got knocked out for good for a half. And then Mark Sanchez came in, to save the game for us. But one other notable thing about the Texans that I do like about them, and I definitely wouldn't mind if they won a Super Bowl, even with all the Deshaun Watson debacle, they are the first team. Who is the first team to ever lose to the Texans? The Dallas Cowboys. Beast of the East, where you hiding? Boys for life. Where you hiding? Cowboys face. Where you hiding? I don't mind the Texans winning it all. Sure. Go ahead, Texans. Had Mario Williams. J.J. Watt at the time. The first game they ever played, Big D. And it was in, what is it called? Reliant Stadium at the time. What is it? I forget what it was called. It was their old stadium back in the day. I don't know. Okay. So, let's see here. Moving on to the Colts. The Colts, if the Colts win it all, I would be in shambles. I would be in absolute shambles if the Colts won it all, considering that Carson Wentz alone, the gingivitis, the guy who quit on us. I can't have that. I can't. No. This guy just continues to be injured, and then when he's not injured, he's just an absolute bum. He's all about his Christianity ego, tries to teach it to other players when other players are probably not even interested. So that's the reason why, players don't even like him, because he's trying to push this religious shit. I think people should be whoever they are. Fuck Carson quits. Amen, brother. My goodness. I can't stand the Colts. Now, I used to like the Colts before Carson quits was there. Andrew Luck. Freaking Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was the best to ever do it for the Colts. You can say Johnny Unitas, okay, yeah. Marvin Harrison, Brandon Stokely, Dallas Clark, all them cats. What's his name, Dallas Clark? Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. Yep. My memory's not going that bad. The Colts, as long as Carson quits is on that team, I am not rooting for them. Okay, so on to the Tennessee Titans. They're one of the most cursed teams in the league. And by the way, the Colts have 2 Super Bowl rings. Yeah, they do. They have one with the Baltimore Colts, and they have another in 2007 over the Bears in 2007. But the Titans, though, the Titans, I'm not really going to be mad if the Titans win the Super Bowl. If the Titans win the Super Bowl, this will avenge everything that happened in the 1999 season, where they came in as wild card and then had to run the table to get to the Super Bowl and end up 1 yard short of tying the game in the Super Bowl. This will avenge all of that. Now, some fun history about why I think the Titans are named who they are. The Titans, they really shouldn't be the Titans right now. They should still be the Oilers. They should still be the Houston Oilers. There was a play in 1979, I want to say versus the Steelers in the divisional round. There was a controversial call. There was a play that looked like a catch, but because, there's no benefit of the doubt with instant replay, the referee called it incomplete. So there was no instant replay. The Titans got hoed, and the Titans end up losing to the Steelers 27-13. So that's one of the reasons why they're called the Tennessee Titans today. I don't think we've ever beaten the Tennessee Titans. Let me know in the comments if you think we have beaten the Houston Oilers, because I know we probably haven't beaten the Tennessee Titans ever. So I wouldn't mind if the Tennessee Titans won, even though, we have a bad thing going on with the Titans. We seem to be cursed. No, we beat the Titans once. 2015, 2014. Yeah, just that one time. I forgot about that. So go ahead, Titans. If you could, Julio, you win it all with Julio, that would have Slida in a fit. That would have all sorts of Falcons fans in a fit. And it would justify the great work that Derrick Henry does. And Ryan Tannehill, I used to think he was this mediocre guy. He's not bad, after, watching a couple games of him. So, y'all beat the Titans in 2014. Yeah, I just recognized Eagles were undefeated against the Oilers. Oh, really? We have beaten them. Yeah, I'm just starting to remember. The Jets can't hold our dicks. That is correct, sir. And now the final team of the AFC South, the Jaguars. My favorite coach, Urban Meyer, for the Buckeyes. Jim Tressel's my other favorite coach for the Buckeyes. But anyways, they're bringing in Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence has just seen his alum this weekend get absolutely ghetto gagged by Georgia, even though they did nothing on offense. All it took to beat the Clemson Tigers was a pick six. But anyways, the Jaguars, I think they've only beaten us once since 2000. I want to say it was 2002. They haven't really existed for a long time either. And shout out to Jagging Off. Want y'all to subscribe to him. He's part of the Fisk unit. Pew, pew, pew. But Jagging Off, I wouldn't be mad if you guys won it all, just for the simple fact that I like you and your content. There were stints of David Garrard, Byron Leftwich. I pretty much like everything about your team, from a hater standpoint, except for Maurice Jones-Drew. Maurice Jones-Drew has to be the worst man I've ever met. He is such an Eagles hater, ever since retirement. You still haven't replaced that battery in your smoke alarm, you lazy. You still talking about that fire alarm. I can't stand Maurice Jones-Drew. He picks us to lose every single game. I can't stand him. The work that he's done on the field, I'll give him credit for that. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take Fred Jones over Jones-Drew. He's the one who came in before Maurice Jones-Drew and really started the good times for the Jags. Would I lose sleep if the Jags won it all? No. No, they have never been to the Super Bowl. They've been close twice. There have been 2 times they made it to the AFC Championship game. That's more than Dallas the last 25 years. And the Jags have only existed since 95, along with the Panthers, who we're going to get to later on. So, if the Jags win it all... Oh, and by the way, they did embarrass Dan Marino and put him into retirement in 2000. It was a score of what, 62 to 3, 61 to 3. So I wouldn't mind if Jacksonville won it all. And now, the moment that A-Fizz and Savage Sev have been waiting for. The Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos. Would I be happy for A-Fizz or Savage Sev if they won it all? I'm going to say yes on this one. The only person I really don't like on their team ever, I'm going to have to say John Elway. John Elway is so overrated. Everybody keeps calling him a legend. I don't know why. He's about as average as Eli Manning, Sheila Manning. Nah. He's just a horrible general manager. I don't like him. But you know, he did give DeMarcus Ware a ring when he couldn't do it in Dallas. Denver has given us a 50 burger in 2013, and we've given them one right back in our last meeting, and we get them this year. Your hate towards 7 is real. Yeah, I don't like John Elway. I just think he's an average quarterback. That's it. The very beginning of his career was awful. Then all of a sudden he gets Terrell Davis, and everything's great. Everything's golden in Denver. So, the hate is real, and I got a bunch of shit to say about him. So fuck him. I couldn't decide. Too much pressure, okay? So Denver, you get a pass from me. I wouldn't lose sleep over that. However, I would lose sleep over Kansas City winning it all. I just don't like their fans at all. Their fans are awful, most of them. I'm gonna say this again. There have been so many times the Chiefs fans have been on my ass about what I said about Patrick Mahomes. I said Patrick Mahomes was only going to win one more Super Bowl in his career after he had won that Super Bowl. And Chiefs fans were like, you can't make videos. You suck at video making. Now, here's the reason why I said Mahomes would only win one more Super Bowl. There will never be another Brady ever again. There will never be another one who wins at least 4 as a quarterback. At least not for a while. I want you all to realize, especially considering that some of you in here are Eagles fans, I want you to realize how hard it is to win a fucking Super Bowl. And that's what I want Chiefs fans to understand when I make this type of prediction. Sure, they may think that, Mahomes is the greatest thing since sliced bread. I get that. I feel that way about my quarterback sometimes too. Whoever it may be, Gingivitis, Nick Foles, Jalen Hurts, etc., etc., etc. But I know how to control my opinions a little bit. I know how to control my opinions, separate facts from opinions, expectations from reality, so on and so forth. So, they got a lot of history going on. Let's talk about the history. My favorite game will always be that meeting in 2005, right after the Super Bowl. We got the Super Bowl hangover. We end up going down 20-3 at half, something like that. And we come all the way back in Arrowhead, mind you, and win that game. Somehow, some way, the Chiefs aren't all that bad. It's just the fucking Mahomes era that just does it for me, and they're fans that want to come out. Like, do you even remember who your quarterback was in 2005? I can tell you. Let them know in the comments section. Air them out in the comments section, people. Of course, they got Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Freaking, damn, what's that running back's name? He was a rookie last year. Adair something. I forgot his last name. He's a rookie. Damn. They're the first team ever to lose a Super Bowl too. They've lost to the Green Bay Packers. I really think if the Super Bowl era had started 2 seasons earlier, the Packers would have been the only team to ever three-peat. But as far as this year, I would hate to see Kansas City fans have their day again. I would absolutely hate it. Especially considering, they never stop talking. They always get cocky. And plus, we got them this year. So I really want that win bad. I would love to beat them in Denzel's crazy world. In Denzel's crazy world of possibilities, I would love to beat them in the regular season and the Super Bowl. That would make my year. That would validate us as one of the best franchises ever in history by beating one of the best in the world. Okay, so on to the Raiders. The Raiders, the first team to ever beat us in our first Super Bowl appearance in 1980. Super Bowl 15. Ron Jaworski. Before there was ever a freaking Randall Cunningham, there was this guy named Ron Jaworski. We call him Jaws in Philly. We end up beating Dallas in the championship game in 1980 at the Vet, and we end up running into Dallas. And I know it may surprise some people, but John Madden wasn't the coach of the Raiders at the time. In fact, John Madden, the guy on all those Madden covers, he coached the 1976 Super Bowl versus the Purple Freaks. Shout out to Big D and what's his name? Big Pun. Damn, I forgot Big Pun's name. Ranting Philly fan. Shout out to them. Yeah, that's right. Wilmer Montgomery carried us to the Super Bowl with that awesome run. So the Raiders didn't have John Madden in 1980 or 1983 when they beat the Redskins. They are infamously known for the Holy Roller. They are infamously known for the Holy Roller and the Fuck Roll. Jaworski had a very low ceiling, and it was reached then. Yeah, that was probably his best season. I gotta look up his stats. Tom Flores, who just got inducted, was... let's see. What else about the Raiders should I tell you guys about? The 2002 matchup. I feel like the Raiders haven't been ever the same since 2002 when the Bucks beat them because John Gruden had to cheat and use pretty much Tampa Bay's playbook No, use the Raiders playbook to give Tampa Bay an advantage. So, of course, beating the Raiders in the Super Bowl was going to be easy. I just don't believe in Derek Carr. I don't. I'm sorry. It's still morning where you're at. No, it's 12:36. It's 9:36 on your side of things. But what's going on, Jeff Bone? Where you hiding? I know you on the west side. West side, so we ride. But would I be mad if the Raiders won a Super Bowl? I'm gonna say no. I'm sorry, AFiz. I'm sorry, AFiz. I'm gonna say the same thing about the Chargers too. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't lose sleep over those two winning the Super Bowl. Raiders, they really don't affect me much. And shout out to Big D. The Raiders were part of our championship run. He actually went down to the game that Christmas, and Nick Foles struggled mightily. We had to depend on that defense, really. Nick Foles, man. Whew. And we get the Raiders this year. We get everybody in the AFC West, just so you know. They are now called the Las Vegas Raiders. I wonder what's going to happen to the black hole. Let me know in the comments real quick if the Athletics still play there, because it was a multi-purpose stadium. And now they're starting to do away with the multi-purpose stadiums. You guys remember how the Phillies and the Eagles used to share the vet? How the Oakland Raiders and the Oakland Athletics used to share the same stadium? Yeah. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind if the Raiders won a Super Bowl. So, on to the Chargers, however. The Los Angeles Chargers. There's so many name changes. The West keeps changing everything around. What's next? The Denver Broncos are going to be like the Nevada Broncos or something like that. Expect a name change in the future because Roger Goodell, he likes to change the rules a lot. Anyways, shout out to TD Diaries. I believe he's still a Chargers fan. I don't know if he's making videos still. But his name is TD Diaries. I got introduced to him because of Adrian Fedq. Y'all remember that Eagles fan? He introduced me to him. He made a video about TD Diaries. He's a huge Charger fan. Shout out to him. Got 9 viewers in the chat. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe. The Chargers, I really don't have a bone to pick with them. And I got to go back to 2005 again. One of my favorite meetings of the Chargers, of course. The block field goal where I think that the Chargers were trying to get some insurance points and their field goal gets blocked. And we end up winning that game 20-17. I think Drew Brees was in that game in his early years when he wasn't a Saint. I had Terrell Davis. I lost so much money on the Chargers when LT went to the playoffs. We got to talk about LaDainian Tomlinson, the best Charger of all time. I was going to say Phillip Rivers, but no. I think Phillip Rivers is number 2. Who are y'all going to remember the most? The San Diego Chargers or the LA Chargers? Because I really think the Chargers will never win a Super Bowl. But if they do somehow miraculously win the Super Bowl with Justin Herbert, who I think is good, that would be kind of cool. I'd be like, yeah, congratulations. I'll give you some golf claps. Yeah, congratulations. But next year it's our year. Chargers winning it all, okay. I think AFiz will forgive them for that. They haven't won shit. Share your toys, AFiz. Share your toys. Fuck you, Spanos. Share your toys, AFiz. You got 3 championships. Share your toys. All right, so we're halfway through the list. That's the whole AFC list. Now let's get to the juicy stuff, NFC fans. The Chicago Bears, and you know we're going to hop right into it with the double doink. The double doink. You know I had to talk about the double doink. Cody Parkey, where you hiding? You know, I'm going to this Falcons game. I am going to the Falcons game. The last time I've ever been to a Falcons game, it was 2015. The old Georgia Dome, before, there was ever a Mercedes-Benz Dome. Cody Parkey has made my life miserable that Monday Night Football to open that 2015 season. We end up coming back, Sam Bradford never throwing down the field, always dinking and dunking to Sproles. Or Macklin. No, not even Macklin, but fucking Jordan Matthews and rookie Nelson Aguilar. He made life miserable for me. Cody Parkey, fuck you. But then again, thank you, Cody Parkey, 3 years later. Thank you. I hope the Bears never win another ring. I don't want the Bears winning another ring. I don't. I would be miserable if the Bears won another ring. I don't think anybody remembers what the Super Bowl Shuffle is. I don't think anybody remembers how to dance to that song. I don't think anybody remembers why there's a 46 defense is because of the Bears. Oh, and I got to go back to the Chargers real quick. I forgot that 90% of the crowd was Eagles fans that year. We dominated that crowd. We showed our asses. We really represent the West Coast like that. We repping everywhere. But as far as the Bears though, I don't want them winning at all. They got greats like Brian Urlacher, Gale Sayers. Dick Butkus. I forgot about him. I forgot about Dick Butkus. Which is kind of like, an innuendo and a compound word at the same time. Dick Butkus. Dick Butkus. Dick Butkus. Bears fans, get used to saying that name. Dick Butkus. Okay. On to the Lions. How would I feel about the Lions winning the Super Bowl? That's 1 in a million. That's 1 in a million. If the Lions win the Super Bowl, okay. This is like, the Browns winning the Super Bowl. Lions fans, I really don't think there's many Lions fans left. I really don't. Their fan base is non-existent, just like the Vikings fans who are about to get, 2 teams later. The Lions. They ran down careers. They've tortured careers of Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson. If it wasn't for them, if they had done the right thing and Calvin Johnson had been in this league today and, just give him some fucking weapons and a line, because Matthew Stafford was so perfect for the Lions. He was so perfect for the Lions. And they ruined it. They fucking ruined it. They never had a running game ever since Barry Sanders. Ever. Outside of a year of what? LeGarrette Blount. You couldn't even use him right. The Lions. So you ruined those 2 careers. They haven't won a Super Bowl. They haven't won anything since the year of 1957. When there were NFL championships. That's the last time they've won it all. So I wouldn't mind if they ended their drought. It would be like, the Cubs winning it all in the World Series. It's just 1 in a million. It could happen. It could happen. But Jared Goff, he's too much of a play action cat to fucking win a Super Bowl for them. He needs to be more of a pocket passer. Okay, the Green Bay Packers. Nah, nah, nah. Definitely not. I would be. No. Aaron Rodgers does not deserve another ring. He does not. All those chances going to the NFC Championship games, I want to say he's been part of at least 6. He's been part of at least 7. Let's see. All the championship games he's been part of, whether he started or benched. Let's start with 2007. The Giants, they weren't in 2008, 2009. 2009. Okay, you beat the fucking Bears in 2010 and you win your Super Bowl. Yay! Yay! I want to say versus the Falcons. Yeah, there was one versus the Falcons. There was one versus the Giants again. There was one versus the Niners. There was one versus Seattle. And there was one last year versus the Bucks. You know, Jeff, I got a bone to pick with you about it, and I'm going to explain later when I get to the Vikings. But I definitely think the Packers don't deserve another Super Bowl. They do not deserve another Super Bowl. I would freak out if the Packers won another Super Bowl. Shout out to Adam James. Just so you know, we're not in a beef or anything. You know, I'm just not cool with that whole blocking thing. You know, if people laugh at me, so be it. Because of my team, so be it. You know what? Damn. You know, before I get to the Vikings, I know y'all excited about the Vikings. We gotta mention 4th and 26. One of my favorite plays of all time, Freddie Mitchell. Oh, and then B.J. Raji stole it. We beat Brett Favre. You guys can't beat Aaron Rodgers. There was a time before 2019 we couldn't beat Aaron Rodgers for shit. And I felt the same way about Russell Wilson, and that is still a fact for today, but let's get to Aaron Rodgers. There was a time we couldn't beat Aaron Rodgers to save our fucking lives. We were down our best corners that year. We're going to talk about 4th and 26 in a moment. That's got a lot to do with the Carolina Panthers, but we have a lot of great history with Brett Favre, but we have a lot of bad history with Aaron Rodgers. And also, I have to point out, we are responsible for the Lombardi curse. Like I said in the Whereyahidin Bible, like it says in the Whereyahidin Bible, thou shalt beateth Vince Lombardi, thou shalt be cursed for 58 years. And we were the only team to do so. So he cursed us for 58 years. Crazy. We went 58 years without a title. We went 17 consecutive years from 1960 to 1977 without a playoff berth. And it took Miracle in the Meadowlands to get us into the playoffs that year. I didn't know we had a good history with Bart Starr outside of the championship game. Chuck Bednarik took Paul Hornung out of the game in 1960. Wow, Big D is really deep on his history. That's what's up. Now, the Vikings. The Vikings. I do not like them at all. I don't like the way they came into Philly and presented themselves. They came down to Philly with their little YMCA. We are the Skull Gang YMCA. Y'all niggas need to chill. The Vikings, I would be in a fit. They would talk about avenging how Eagles fans treated us. You know, this is validation for how the Eagles fans treated us. I wouldn't hear the end of it from Vikings fans. I wouldn't hear the end of it from Vikings fans, bro. Vikings, they absolutely deserve having beers popped over their heads. I'm not going to lie. The way they presented themselves and defaced the Rocky statue, no. Not in my city. I don't like that. And the Lions did it too. You know, they were on that whole shit too. So I guess I changed my mind about the Lions. You know, they don't deserve a Super Bowl. They'll never win a Super Bowl. There. I just changed my mind. All right. Let me answer this text message real quick. And then I got to turn this phone off because I am in a live right now. I got to turn this phone off. Yeah, exactly, Big D. They asked for it. They ain't no. They weren't ready. They weren't ready. They don't know what they were walking themselves into. They thought the Eagles fans were just sweet. You know, they probably saw TV and was like, oh, you know, these Eagles fans are sweet. They're not very, you know, as mean as they, you know, we see on the TV. Nah, they're really sweet fans. They ain't going to do shit to us. Do a little dance, you know, ride the charter bus, go back home with our championship, our NFC championship trophy. Keep the drought going because they haven't been to a Super Bowl since 1976 when they lost to the Raiders. And I hope it stays that way. I hope they are forever cursed. Forever. The Vikings don't deserve shit. Their fan base, they never come out of the dark unless they win a regular season game. Power off, not restart. There we go. The Vikings will always be remembered for going backwards. Jim Marshall. My dad has told timeless stories about that. This is how I came up on football. You know, learning stuff like this when Jim Marshall, he's going the wrong way. Oh, I love that. You know, there's some good times for the Vikings. You know, Franz Harkinson. You know, Randy Moss. How did you waste Randy Moss's rookie season like that? My God, Anderson, make the kick. The Eagles are 4-0 in the playoffs versus the Vikings. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. You wasted Dante Culpepper. You wasted Randy Moss. Mr. Moon. That was a disgusting act by Randy Moss. Bitch ass Joe Buck. I want to talk about that freaking what was it? That 2002 season? Yeah, the 2002 season where they got off to a 6-2 start and still missed the playoffs. They finished 9-7. They let they wasted Adrian Peterson. They started off 6-2 that year and finished with a 9-7 record. They lost to 4 teams with 4 or less wins late in that season. They collapsed, even with Randy Moss and Dante Culpepper still in the mix. So I think the Vikings are forever cursed. Oh, we also got to mention the 2009 NFC Championship game. Brett Favre was an absolute fucking idiot. I can't believe I cheered for the Vikings to win the Super Bowl that year. Now that I look back on it, I'm absolutely disgusted. Yeah, 2003 versus the Cardinals. Wow. Forgive me. Let me pause for a minute. Forgive me. Hold on. 2003. Forgive me, y'all. Where's that ending? Here we go.
Here he is. The season's on the line. Two receivers left and right. McCown Takes the snap. He steps up. He's all by himself. Fires into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! No! No! The Cardinals have knocked the Vikings out of the playoffs!
I just had to do that, y'all. I just had to do that. I just had to do that. I'm dead. Fuck the Vikings. We're gonna skip to the NFC South. We're not gonna do the NFC East yet. We're not gonna do the AFC East yet. We're gonna go right to the Falcons. The Falcons are next. The Falcons are next. How would I feel if the Falcons won the Super Bowl? I'd be a little upset, because most of their fans, they're non-existent. This is really a fashion city. They really don't care about sports like that, unless it's like, I know this city very well. I've lived down here for 12 years. Shout out to Slitta, obviously. Cam. Robbie White. Asia Robertson, Asia Green. Shout out to all of y'all. But the Falcons winning it all, I would be happy for Slitta. I would be happy for Slitta. I would be happy for Slitta. But I wouldn't be happy that the Falcons won it all. Obviously, there's the 28-3. Our first ever, legit encounter, I want to say, was 1979 in the wild card matchup, where we lost 14-13 at home because Mr. Dick Vermeil decided to just take everybody up off the street. This dude has decided to get a kicker in there who was really a punter. He wasn't really a kicker. He used him to be a kicker. And we end up losing the game. He ended up missing 3 or 4 field goals? Let me know in the chat. And if you're just coming in, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Nothing really happened in the 80s and 90s that I really care about. Gotta skip to the Michael Vick era. Because, my God, the Michael Vick era was a lot of fun. I don't know if y'all have ever heard me say this, but Michael Vick was the only jersey I've ever had that didn't resemble Eagles colors. And it was because I was a kid and I didn't know better. A-Fizz would be pissed if the Falcons won a Super Bowl this season. I would kind of lose sleep over it, but then again, it's the Falcons. Slit is happy. He won't rub it in my face too much, but I'll be happy for him. McNabb versus Vick was an underrated feud. I can agree with that. They ended up being teammates, so that's probably why people think, we don't really value that kind of, feud there. 2001, Michael Vick comes into the league. 2002, and get used to this, Falcons fans. You're going to run into the Eagles quite a bit over the next couple decades. 2002, they end up shocking the world and beating the Packers in the wild card round as a 6th seed. And then they come to old cold-ass Philly. Well, wait, Green Bay was cold too. How did they come up with a win? Oh, the Eagles are better. The Eagles are better. The Falcons are better than the Packers, the slackers. And the Eagles are better than the Falcons. So, take your pick. Our defense, bro. And then the Eagles will go on to lose to that other team that we're not going to mention until, 3 teams later. 2003, Michael Vick I don't think he goes to the playoffs, but he does make the Madden cover. 2004, our Super Bowl year, our Super Bowl run. They actually get a first round bye. They went 11-5 that year. They used to be called the DVD. I got to bring this up. Dunn, Vick, and Duckett. That was their trio in the backfield. I will never forget Brian Dawkins laying out that hit in that NFC Championship game. He said, you know what? We're tired of losing these NFC Championship games in heartbreaking fashion. We are just tired of fucking losing. We have lost 3 consecutive NFC Championship games. And part of the next team that we're about to talk about. Trust me, we're going to struggle with the NFC South quite a bit. They've been some brick walls, except for the Falcons, pretty much. 2005. I don't think shit happens in 2005. Yeah, the only thing that really is really noteworthy is that Keith Brooking guy, with the sternum injury. He speared Donovan McNabb. That should have been a targeting call. Steered him in the sternum. The sternum hurts. Sports hernia. 2006, nothing happens. 2007, Michael Vick. He's out of there because of dogfighting. He ends up resurrecting his career with us 2 years later. He served 23 months. So that's the end of the Michael Vick era. It was a very good run. It was a very good era. Oh, they had a collapse that year. Okay, 6-2 and finished 8-8. And then the Matt Schaub era begins, 2007. And then the Matt Ryan era begins in 2008. 2008. Matt Ryan, his very first throw in the NFL, goes for a touchdown. Yippee. But here's the thing with Matt Ryan early on in his career. Everybody used to call him Matty Ice because he would never get those playoff wins early in his career. I remember it to this day. He's been part of the Falcons since my high school days. 2008, I was a junior in high school. I was only 16, maybe 17. I was 16 when he got drafted, though. I got a late birthday. Matt Ryan has lost to teams like the Giants, Seattle, the Packers. But then he finally gets over the hump and gets revenge on Seattle. He gets his first playoff win in 2012. And here's where the choking starts. 2012 versus the Niners. They blow a 24-0 lead. What was it, 24? Yeah, 24-0 lead. And then Colin Kaepernick comes right back. Yeah, Colin Kaepernick comes right back and takes them to the Super Bowl. The 49ers end up winning by 4 points. By the way, let's backtrack a little bit. 2010, they actually had the best record in the NFL. They had a 13-3 record and lose to the Packers. Wow, they get spanked by the Packers. Matt Ryan's first and only home loss for 2 seasons came in his rookie season, and it was against who? The Denver Broncos. Hell yeah. Rub salt in the wound. So the Falcons, 2014, nothing really happened. 2015, they get off to a 5-0 start and finish 8-8. They actually sweep the NFC East. And back to that Cody Parkey thing I was talking about earlier in the live. That was their first win of that season. They sweep the NFC East through their first 5 games. They start off 5-0. 4 of their first 5 came against the NFC East. And they collapse. Get used to collapsing, ladies and gentlemen. So they fire, what is his name? Jim Mora? No, Jim Mora wasn't there back then. It was, what? Damn, it's not Mike Smith. Mike Smith is their current coach. No, Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith is their current coach. Damn, what was his name? I want to say it's Jim Mora. I'm not sure. But their coach ends up getting fired in 2015. 2016, enough said about that. We actually end up beating them that year. All the chips stacked against this high-powered offense. And we beat them. Up 28-3 in the Super Bowl. Timeless memories of this. And they blow it. They blow a 28-3 lead. I had $51 on the freaking Patriots that they would win that Super Bowl because it's Super Bowl 51. So the Falcons fan who bet me, he was like, yeah. Make sure you have my money ready. I'm like, yeah, it's time to pay. It's over for the Patriots. Then all of a sudden, 28-9. Yeah, the Patriots still gonna lose that. 28-12. They're still gonna lose that. Strip sack. 28-20. Oh shit. Pay attention to the game. This is getting interesting. Oh shit, the game is tied? It's going to overtime. This is the first overtime in Super Bowl history. And all of a sudden, all those clubs that were packed in Atlanta, I can remember it to this day. Everybody won. Yeah, everybody, we're going to get lit. We getting lit. I remember to this day being on those trains. And they blow it. I wanted the Falcons to lose that Super Bowl because I couldn't stand another team, getting a Super Bowl before us after all the times we've been in an NFC Championship game and lost. And we still have, they would get their first Super Bowl before us. 2017. Julio gets blown out of bounds. Can't catch inbounds. Touchdown. No touchdown for the Falcons. Nope. No touchdown for the Falcons. Sorry. Nope. Eagles defense too strong. Anyways, let's speed this shit up. 2021, they got a new head coach, Arthur Smith. I'm scared. Psych. We're going to beat the Falcons this year, but if they win the Super Bowl this year, okay, I wouldn't be mad, but A-Fizz might. I might regret this decision in the future to not be mad if the Falcons win the Super Bowl. The Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers are next on my to-do list. If they win the Super Bowl, I would be absolutely upset. Okay, maybe not. And here's why. I forgive them for that 2003 debacle of a season where we started off 2-3. We end up running the table going 12-4. And going back to that 4th and 26. That was the play that really destroyed the Eagles season because the Eagles felt like they won a Super Bowl after that game because, we came against all odds and our season was on the line and we saved our season. Jake Delhomme, Ricky Manning picked us off 3 times. Jake Delhomme didn't really have to do anything. If the Carolina Panthers win it all, and I am kind of a Christian McCaffrey fan too. I was never really a Cam Newton fan. I like Cam Newton though. I changed my mind about that. Cam Newton, I hope he finds work somewhere else. I still hope he's a starter in this league. The Texans could use him. The Texans could really use him. He was just in the wrong system. I don't think the Patriots are right for him. But Cam Newton, how are you afraid to? Why? The ball's right there. Jump on the ball. Jump on the ball, Panthers. And shout out to 8 Camel Toes. That's one of the content creators that I like for the Panthers. That's the only one I really know. If the Panthers win it all, I wouldn't be too mad. I'd be happy for 8 Camel Toes. And before we get on to the Saints, I got to mention this. Just for kicks. They are part of this. Better have you naked by the end of this song. All right. Now on to the Saints. Sorry, Janet. How would I feel if the Saints won it all? The Saints? Nah. I hate the Saints. For a couple of obvious reasons. Every time we play the Saints in the playoffs, they find a way to beat us. And the one that really stings the most is that 2006 meeting when we had Jeff Garcia. Sheldon Brown with one of the best hits ever. One of the best hit sticks ever. Like, I still feel that shit to this day. Make me feel like I'm listening to 95 South. Shout out to Carolina. My God, he laid his ass out. Reggie Bush was literally crawling like this. But then he came back into the game. Deuce McAllister meant everything for that game, for the Poodats, for the Eights. Back in the 70s, they've only existed since 1967. That's not very long. They would wear paper bags over their heads. No lie. They were one of the worst teams in the league. They were right down there with the freaking Buccaneers. They were right there, in the gutter, in the trenches. But the 2000s, everything really changed for them. Aaron Brooks, Deuce McAllister, Joe Horn, Sean Payton. I can't stand the Saints. And we got to talk about that freaking 2018 divisional round, right? So after we beat the Bears, after the whole Cody Parkey thing, we go up 14-0 versus these boys. I'm feeling confident as ever. And then the punter, it's a direct snap to Taysom Hill. God, I hate Taysom Hill. A direct snap to Taysom Hill, he gets a first down. Long story short, they go up 20-14. We're driving the ball. It's about to be the 2-minute warning soon. And Doug Peterson is a fucking idiot for this fact. He should have let it just be the 2-minute warning and just not run a play. So we have time to get set. It's time to think about what we need to do to convert this third down. No, it was a second down. We got to get a first down here. They just missed a field goal. We got to capitalize. We're down by 6. We still have a chance. Nope. Interception to Marshawn Lattimore. Intercepted. It went right off of Jeffrey's hands. It's Lattimore. Oh, I wanted to beat that announcer so bad. I wanted to beat every freaking Saints fan. Oh my God, I was so angry that we couldn't defend our Super Bowl championship. And another thing about the Saints that I hate, we have the worst loss of any Super Bowl champion, defending Super Bowl champion ever, because of a game previously that season. I want to say it shook gingivitis. I want to say that's his worst game of his career. 48-7 that year. And they do have a tendency of choking a lot. Shout out to JP of the New Orleans Saints. Let me get my shout outs real quick. JP of the New Orleans Saints. Mr. Houdat. There's a lot of Saints fans. There's a lot of Saints fans that I'm forgetting to mention, but those two are my favorites. It was also Jalen Hurts' first start. Gotta mention that. Yeah. And he beat the number 1 ranked defense at the time. And I did a little dance about it. The Saints are really known for choking a lot. The Minneapolis Miracle. The debacle, which was the Rams game, which I really think that game should have been called better, but they still had a chance to win that shit in overtime. So they can call it rigged all they want to. They still had a chance to win in overtime. And Drew Brees threw a pick. There was also the second meeting versus the Vikings in the playoffs. This time, that was in the wild card in 2019. 2019, I believe. Yeah, and then there was the one last year. How do you sweep the Buccaneers in the playoff in the regular season, but then lose to them in the playoffs because Tom Brady knows how to bring it? He's like a LeBron James of this league. Like the regular season, he's kind of pacing himself. The Buccaneers treated it like it was a marathon. The Saints treated it like it's a sprint. And that's the difference between Tom Brady and the Saints. And he forced Drew Brees to retire. I hate Drew Brees, by the way. Receding hairline and all. So I would be mad if the Saints won it all. Now on to the last NFC South team, the Buccaneers. I cannot stand the Buccaneers. They are responsible for the worst L as an Eagles fan that I have ever taken. If there's ever a game where I really think the Eagles couldn't possibly lose, it would be that 2002 NFC Championship game where they shut down a vet. At the time, the Buccaneers, I want to say, were 0-13 in games where it was 30 degrees or less. They did it with guys like Mike Allstott, Joe Jaravicius, Keyshawn Johnson, Warren Sapp, that unknown QB named Brad Johnson, and let's not forget Rondé Barber running down the sidelines. As our Merrill Reese can just do nothing but watch the stadium in silence. I think E-Rock told this story the best. Look back on his video in 2015. Shout out to E-Rock. Subscribe to him as well. He made a video about his experience at the vet, his last game at the vet. And my God, you can hear a pin drop. That's exactly what he said in that video. He told it the best. So how would I feel if the Buccaneers would repeat? I'd be like, man, aren't you guys tired of Brady winning a Super Bowl? And then he's coming back next year. He's on a 4-year contract. No, and he's 42? 42, huh? I'm tired of Brady. I am so tired of Brady. This is why I'm glad we beat them this is why I'm glad we beat him when we did. The Philly special. The strip sack. I hate Tom Brady. But as far as last season though, I'm still glad that Tom Brady beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs, I hate the Chiefs so much. I hate the Chiefs more than Tom Brady. I will admit, Tom Brady Tom Brady over the Chiefs. Fuck it. I hate Tom Brady's guts, but Chiefs fans, they talk out of their ass a lot. I hate the Chiefs fans, most of them. But their run was absolutely amazing. They be some juggernauts. You know, I mean, you can argue that it took super teams to do it, but they be some juggernauts. They beat Drew Brees, put him into retirement, had Aaron Rodgers contemplating retirement, and then shut all the Chiefs fans up. Oh, yeah, and the fucking Deadskins, you know, they aren't that special, so I didn't include them. If Brady wins the Super Bowl again, I'll be pissed. Fuck them. Some people are going to say their championship was bought, like Slitta, you know. Stop buying championships. Earn it. Nah. The Arizona Cardinals are next. The Arizona Cardinals are next. I would be pissed if the Cardinals win it all. I'm tired of the Cardinals. You know, there was a time Brady pulled a big show and said, "You want me to retire? Find someone that will retire me." He said that to Drew Brees. I hate the Cardinals. I fucking hate the Cardinals, bro. The Cardinals, bro. They are a bad memory for me. A bad memory for me in my high school days. When I was a junior in high school, all I could think about when the main face of the Cardinals is Larry Fitzgerald. And every time I think of that ugly ass face with the dreads, I'm always thinking, man, this motherfucker scored 3 on us in an NFC Championship game to open the NFC Championship game. They jump out to a 21-6 lead at half. A 24-6 lead at half. And it's all thanks to Neil Rackers, but mainly Larry Fitzgerald. He's been a problem for us for so many years. Even last year, before he retired, he scored a touchdown on us last year, if y'all remember. The Arizona Cardinals have the longest drought in NFL history currently. They haven't won it all since 1947. The year before we won it all in 1948 and 1949. They have only been to the Super Bowl once. And they have also been in our division for quite some time. Until about 2002 or 3. Before they flocked to the NFC West. That's right, they was in our division. The Arizona Cardinals have been undefeated in the playoffs. They've never lost in the playoffs. I believe they're 5-0, 6-0. So that lets me know right there how many times they've ever been to the playoffs. They don't go to the playoffs that often. And if they do, they're basically on the road most of the time. So I would be pissed if the Cardinals win it all. Don't let them win the damn Super Bowl. Their fans are awful. The LA Rams are next on my shit list. The LA/St. Louis Rams. Shout out to SoCal. Oh, damn. I forgot to give out my shout out to RTP for the Buccaneers. Make sure you subscribe to him. Shout out to RTP. Real Talk Perez. He made a good diss on the fucking Fist Vegas at one time. Don't put me in the firing range, Fist Vegas, but it was a pretty good funeral service. I thought it was very entertaining and very funny. That's my favorite video of RTP. But on to the LA Rams/St. Louis Rams. Shout out to SoCal. If the Rams won the Super Bowl, I wouldn't be mad. You know, they've been known as the greatest show on turf at one time. When I think of the Rams, I think of Marshall Faulk. I think of Kurt Warner replacing, he replaced somebody. I forgot his name. Was it Mark Bulger? I think he replaced Mark Bulger. Correct me if I'm wrong. In the comments real quick. Yeah, we're not gonna mention EDP in this shit. Um, let's see. The Rams are the reason why sacks exist. Damn, what is his fucking name? Damn. Hold on. Let me do my research here real quick. Um, what was his name? Damn, what was his name? He was a dude with the big eyes that played back in the 70s. He used to on people's helmets and get sacks that way, but they didn't count as sacks back in the day. Damn, what was his name? Not Aaron Donald. Not Aaron Donald. I'm not talking about Aaron Donald. We're gonna get to Aaron Donald in a second. Damn, what was his fucking name? What was his fucking name? What was his fucking name? Deacon Jones. Deacon Jones is the reason why sacks exist nowadays. Deacon Jones is the reason why sacks exist. Because he thought of this term named sack, I got this little sack in my hand, and you just wrap it over people. Instead, you're just using your arms, and you just bring them to the ground. That's the reason why sacks exist. Because of Deacon Jones. Remember that I said this. Deacon Jones is a fucking GOAT. He really should have some sacks on his resume. I believe he's in the Hall of Fame. Let me see if he's in the Hall. He should definitely be in the Hall of Fame. Deacon Jones. Oh, he died in 2013? Oh, I didn't know that. Is Deacon Jones a Hall of Famer? He better be a Hall of Famer. He better be a Hall of Famer. Yeah, he is a Hall of Famer. He joined the Hall of Fame. What year did he join the Hall of Fame? Yeah, but I love Deacon Jones. I love Deacon Jones. I'm going to go ahead and say it. He's the best Ram of all time. Fuck it. Fuck it. I don't give a damn about Aaron Donald. Deacon Jones is the best. Aaron Donald is a stud. Jalen Ramsey. I will never forget the fact that every Eagles fan next to their mother wanted Jalen Ramsey. Like, oh, rumors, everybody. We're this close. We're 99% certain that we're going to get Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, I could argue that, the Rams really needed Deacon Jones during the Super Bowl because, Brady was all over the place in that second half. I really think they could have needed like another sack or two to really seal things in that Super Bowl. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, but didn't. Anyways, LA, go on. If you win the Super Bowl this year, I wouldn't be mad. Fuck it. San Fran, however, no. Shout out to Ruthless. Shout out to Jay and the Bay. I know there's a lot of names that I'm missing, but shout out to y'all. I wouldn't mind. No, I would hate. I would hate if the 49ers won it all. I would hate it. We are the first team in their franchise history to ever lose. We actually debuted in their Levi Stadium. First regular season team to ever lose in Levi Stadium to the Niners. Back when it was open in 2014. They are also responsible for Beyonce slipping in the Super Bowl because that's where the Super Bowl happened. Super Bowl 50 with Cam Newton. They live in the past a lot. The 90s. They're trying to move on. They're trying so hard to move on. Trey Lance. Jimmy Garoppolo. They're trying to move on from the debacle thing with, Chip Kelly. Fuck him. And Colin Kaepernick, not giving him a chance. That's just my opinion, but I don't really. Yeah. Y'all can crucify me for that if you want to, but whatever. Frank Gore, I think, really shined there in freaking San Francisco. I remember guys like Brandon Lloyd. Brandon Lloyd. Brandon Lloyd, I think he's my favorite 49er of all time. There's most notably my favorite catch. There was a one-handed catch he made. I want to say it was over those Broncos. I think he also joined the Broncos too. Brandon Lloyd, he was also a Bronco, so there's a connection there. With all that history said, you know, all the great players that have come through the Bay, I'm not gonna lie. I would hate for them to win 6 Super Bowls. You know, they'll be tied up there with the freaking Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I would be pissed. I would be pissed. I would definitely be pissed if the Seattle Seahawks won it all. Shout out to Big D. This is one of my favorite videos of all time. We can't beat this team for fucking shit! I remember that video. That's my favorite video, even though, you know, it's good to laugh at it, you know, every now and then, you know, look back on that shit and whatnot. He literally said that. We can't beat this team for fucking shit. It is still true to this day. We're on a 13-year drought versus the fucking Seattle Seahawks. Yes, Brandon Lloyd was a Bronco. Jerry Rice joined the Broncos. Jerry Rice joined the Broncos in 2005, but retired before the season. We still can't beat the fucking the Seattle Seahawks. I can't stand Russell Wilson. I can't stand his ass. He is such this perfect little pretty boy, this, excuse me if I'm a little racist, light-skinned guy, this Carlton Banks, this, he's got the perfect life. He got Sierra. He got Future ready to beat his ass. I can't with this guy. I can't. I can't. Seattle and their fans, anytime that I go up to a Seattle fan and be like, okay, so you got the ring in 2013. So who was the starting quarterback in Super Bowl 40? Who was the starting quarterback in Super Bowl 40 versus the Steelers? I know the answer. I'm not going to say it. Bandwagons. That's the point I'm trying to get down to. As soon as the Legion of Boom exploded and just... Oh, and 49ers fans, you did end up getting Richard Sherman as well, so it wasn't all that bad. You know, sorry receiver like Crabtree. I admit that was kind of funny. That was savage. When I think of Seattle, I think of Sean Alexander. I think of freaking... What's that white dude's name that used to play for them in 2005? Damn, I forgot his name. Let me know in the comments. I think of Tyler Lockett. I definitely think of DK Metcalf, who definitely outshines JJ Arcega-Whiteside. He even ran track this year and held his own for, you know, even though he ran last place, you know, he still held his own and kept up with those guys for a good amount of time, the whole damn race. So if Seattle wins it all, I would freak out. I would definitely freak out. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the NFC East. People like to call us the NFC least, but we have the most rings. We have the rings for every team in the division. No other division could ever say that. There's at least one team in every division without a Super Bowl ring, except for the NFC East. We're going to start with the Washington. Washington. Washington has rings in the 70s versus the Dolphins. They have a ring versus the Dolphins, 71. They have a ring in 1984. Yeah, they beat the Dolphins that year. They got their revenge on the Dolphins. Nah, yeah, they did get their revenge on the Dolphins because the Dolphins beat them in 72 on their way to a perfect season. 72. They got 71. They got 84 over the Dolphins again. And then they got 91 versus the Bills. This is a team. I was born into this Super Bowl, unfortunately. I was born in 91. There's really not a lot to say about this team. You know, of course, all across the board, I'm just going to be like, I don't want this team to win a Super Bowl. It would be a fucking nightmare. And can you imagine if a Washington fan was like, you Eagles only have one Super Bowl, and it was this century. We have a Super Bowl in this century. Now we can bring up the past 3 Super Bowls that you guys really don't want us to mention, and we're living in the past for. Could you imagine them saying that? They've won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different QBs. And if they win another Super Bowl, they're going to win another one with another quarterback because, you know, no quarterback's going to be in the NFL who's 70 years old. They're not going to bring back the last quarterback they won with in 91. I think his name was Doug Williams. So if I'm not even going to waste time with this, you know, if the Deadskins win it all, I would be pissed. Shout out to Ed Oliver. Subscribe to him. He's a big HTTR fan. Taylor Heineken. Chase Young. I would be happy for Chase Young, though. He's a Buckeye. He's a Buckeye. That's the only person I would be happy for. But there's going to be a lot of... I used to know a lot of Redskins fans back in the day. I used to live in Maryland, a small town called Frederick, Maryland. And just a bunch of Ravens fans, a bunch of Redskins fans. It was a nightmare to go to school every day, except for when we won games. You know, I would put on my Eagles jersey, my Deshaun Jackson jersey back in the day. I even had, call me foolish, I even had a freaking Dante Stallworth jersey back in the day. Yikes. A year with him. Injury prone. Anyways, the New York Giants. Hey, how you doing, you crybabies? How you doing, you crybabies? Let's get to the New York Giants. First, I want to give out my shout-outs to Fist Vegas, of course, The Entertainer, Bad Dog, She Got Sports. Shout out to all you Giants fans. You know, you're repping your team, you know. It is what it is. When I think about the Giants, I think about a team that used to be cursed in the Super Bowl era before 1986. They used to be absolutely cursed. They're like, when are we going to win a Super Bowl? Then LT comes along. You know, they were cursed. They are the reason behind the Miracle in the Meadowlands, the Joe Pisarchiks of the world, the Larry Zonkas of the world, and then he fumbles. Picked up by Herm Edwards, returns it for a touchdown. The Giants are a really, really stupid team. They really, I just can't stand the Giants for shit. They're going to have some bad luck, a lot of bad luck, actually. I hate the Giants with a bloody passion. There was a time they used to be my arch rival, my personal arch rival, until about, high school. I can't stand the Giants. So they have 4 Super Bowls, 86, 90, 07, and 11. So there have been many conversations of whether to make Eli Manning a first ballot Hall of Famer or not. My thing is no. I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, but I do think he's a Hall of Famer. He'll get in probably, I'll give him 8 years of retirement. I don't think he's getting in right away, but he will be recognized for beating Brady twice. That's the only thing I thank Sheila Manning for. Sheila Manning. I think they've been to the Super Bowl 6 times, correct me if I'm wrong. I think they've been there 5 times. They lost to the Ravens. They lost to the Ravens in the Super Bowl. Yeah. They're 4-1 in the Super Bowl. They're 4-1 in the Super Bowl. They've lost to the Ravens in 2000. They've lost to the Ravens in 2000. That's the only Super Bowl I can even remember them losing. They used to win a lot of NFL championships back in the day. The Giants were a huge thing in the 50s and the 40s. They were absolute juggernauts back then. I want to say they've been existing since the 19 teens. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Giants fans. Maybe the late 1900s. You wanted New England to win those. Why? So we can an undefeated team? I mean, that's another question we need to have. Like, who did you want to win Super Bowl 42? Because it was either the Giants winning their 3rd ring or the Patriots going undefeated. It was really a tough choice for me, but I ended up picking the Giants because, my God, I hate Tom Brady. But I would absolutely hate it if the Giants won it all, just to see Bad Dog laugh his little ass off at the Eagles for not winning it all. We got 5 rings. You only got 1. Shut up. You don't deserve to be at our table anymore. And speaking of a team who got 5, the Dallas Cowboys. You talk about a team who's living in the past. We were talking about the 49ers, a team that's been living in the past, the 90s. Here we go. The moment that Beast of the East has been waiting for. I cannot stand the Dallas Cowboys. What's going on, Sports Talk with Let's Go Birds? Whereyahidin? How would I react if the Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl this year? My goodness. I would eat cabbage with bananas, with cantaloupe, and mix it in a salad with mayo and eat it all and then skinny dip and then run out into the streets naked if the Cowboys ever win the Super Bowl this year. The Cowboys, I hate them so much. I hate them with a bloody passion. They have 5 rings. They've been in a league. This is the shortest tenured team in NFL East history. They came into the league last. They came in the league in 1960 along, the Patriots have existed that long. So enough about the Patriots. The Cowboys. We all know about their history. They've been a thing in the 60s, the late 60s. The guy with the hat, the bitch with the hats, Tom Landry. It started with him. The Super Bowl actually could have been named after him. There's the Ice Bowl. All those Super Bowls in between. They've won it twice in the 70s. They didn't do really anything in the 80s. They were, starting to rebuild. There was a trade of the lifetime in 1989 with Herschel Walker. And then they go on and win 3 out of 4 because of it. Young Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Joe Aiken. You know, Eagles fans, we like to call we like to go we like to call Troy Aikman Troy Aiken. Um, I don't know, like man, like if they win the Super Bowl, I would be ranting for days. Be like, how you can't shit on us about not winning it all in the 21st century now. You can't do that, Eagles. We can talk about the past because we've won something this decade. We've won something. We've won something this decade. We've won something this millennium. You guys only have one Super Bowl, Eagles. One. Randy White, Bob Hayes, Percy Howard, Roger Staubach. Yeah, you remember that catch versus the Vikings, and I want to say it was the mid-70s. It was versus the Vikings. Um, Damn, I forgot that black dude's name who fucking Drew Pearson. Drew Pearson caught that ball and came to our draft like so many years later just to troll us, only for us to win the very next year. Tony Dorsett. Yeah, Tony Dorsett has 2 rings with them. I want to say he has a ring or 2. I want to say he was part of that 70s group that won it all. Maybe one. Maybe one. Stat check me here. Stat check me here. I'm not perfect, but I think Pearson has a ring at least. I know he at least has one ring. So, Dallas fans, you guys haven't won a Super Bowl ring since some of y'all content creators were born. David Akers. Thank you, David Akers. Thank you, David Akers. Thank you, David Akers. Pearson definitely ate his crow. He was the biggest Cowboys fan to ever eat crow that year. So, there's been stints of Dez Bryant. Oh, he caught it. Dez caught it. There was a time they beat us in 2010. No, it was 2009. It was 2009 season. So we had to fight to get in, and Dallas needed to beat us to get in. No, the division was on the line. So if we had won that game, we'd be a 2 seed. We have a bye. But if Dallas wins, they would have been a 3 seed. They would have won the division. They would have had to play us in the first round at their house. But if we won, we would have been a 2 seed. So what happens is we end up playing Dallas at their house, and we end up losing that game as well. We get shut out in the season ender, and we get blown out in the playoffs. So there's that, and then they lose to the Vikings the next round. Not really a lot of playoff history. I'm always going to look at them for the fact that, the Tony Romo matchup versus Seattle, that's one of my favorite ones. I love looking at replays of that and just seeing Al Michaels' reaction of Tony Romo being like 2 yards short. Good times. I like Tony Romo now. I didn't like him back then. As an announcer, I used to hate Tony Romo to the freaking core. I hate Tony Romo. Back then, I hated him. But now, I like him. He predicted, he said something like, okay, don't be surprised if the Eagles finish with a good record. If the Cowboys think they're winning anything this year, they some clowns. Yeah, they are definitely some clowns. And because we're doing a video like this, I have to make it a possibility. If the Cowboys won a Super Bowl, this is how I would react. Crazy, huh? What a crazy world we live in. Cowboys ain't winning shit. Bills were handing out Super Bowls left and right. Yeah, because they're responsible for giving them 2 of them. Tony Romo used to pick us apart. Yeah, there were times. Tony Romo would pick us apart. One memorable matchup that I will never forgive the Cowboys for was the one where Deshaun Jackson, his rookie season, bonehead, Just flips the ball backwards before getting into the end zone. Bonehead. So we end up losing that game, that Monday Night Thriller, by 4. But don't worry, Eagles fans. The craziest year happened in 2008. I love 2008 before the Cardinals ruined it. 2008. So we needed the Bears to lose to get in. We needed the Bucks to lose to get in. And then on top of that, we needed to beat Dallas. We needed to beat Dallas to get in. You ever heard of this? You cats, you old school cats, remember a guy named Marion Barber? Whew. Tony Romo, Marion Barber. T.O. was on that team as well. What's going on, Big Play Slay? I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I do what I can. I appreciate you for calling me GOAT. Marion Barber. And you know, since we're on Cowboys Eagles, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the 2006 matchup when T.O. returned to Philly as a Cowboy in that cold October day. We were burning T.O. jerseys after the game. So long story short, Drew Bledsoe, his old wash ass at the time, so they're down 31-24. They're driving. They're like deep in the red zone. It's like what, 2nd and goal. All of a sudden they call this play to the right. They're trying to go to what? What's his name? Jason Witten. And it's intercepted by Lito Shepherd. Lito Shepherd. And shout out to A-Fizz because you gave DeMarcus Ware a ring when the Cowboys couldn't. So you guys are better than the Cowboys. Lito Shepherd, who I plan on meeting this September, this game versus the Falcons. He's coming down to Atlanta to signings, book signings, whatever, autographs, pictures, all that stuff. Shout out to him. I want to see you. I want to see you. Lito Shepherd, you are amazing. You are amazing. Isn't there a song called Lito somewhere? I forget who it's by. I think it's called Lito. There's a song called Lito somewhere. I forget who it's by, but long story short, I would hate, my world would end if the Cowboys won the Super Bowl. I predict the Cowboys will never win a Super Bowl for another 1,000 years. 1,000 years. The Cowboys are never going to win anything for 1,000 years. He said, Big D hates that song? Really? Broncos haven't lost to the Cowboys since 1995. And I don't expect anything to change that season. What's up, Valex Sports? You came at a good time, Valex. We're talking about how I would react if the Cowboys won the Super Bowl. My world would end. I would be like, I'm never going to live this down because Cowboys fans are just going to be like, you've teased us for not winning it all for the past 25 years. Now look at you. We have a ring now. We have a ring this millennium. Oh, and we still got the 5 left in the tuck. I agree, Big D. We should have paid T.O. the money, but T.O. was really angry at Donovan McNabb, deservingly so, for, Donovan McNabb pushing him out of the door. I really don't appreciate that. T.O. was a one-of-a-kind talent. I would have loved to have him for more than a season and a half. I like McNabb, but I have to call it down a mill. And you're absolutely right, dude. McNabb pushed T.O. out the door because he felt overshadowed by T.O. We live rent-free in a Giants' head. Yeah, of course. Of course. Of course. Guess there's nothing else left to talk about. Psych. The Eagles. How would I react if the Eagles won the Super Bowl? This would end all the talks about, oh, we can't bring up 2017. Well, we've won another one. We've won another one. Of course, I would be happy. I'm an Eagles fan. If the Eagles win the Super Bowl this year, long shot. But let's say they do. I would be ecstatic. I'll be buying my plane ticket down to another parade where I met that Chanel Jones cat. It would be awesome. It would be awesome. It would be awesome to win a Super Bowl. I guess that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure y'all hit the like button on the way out. I gotta head to work. I gotta get some stuff done. It's been a thrill. It's been fun to do this stream. Thank you all for coming out. Going to hear how we might not win another one for 50 years. Yes, that's exactly all we're going to hear from every single fan in the world. Oh, you got lucky. The Eagles still are a trash-ass organization. Your fans are terrible. We wouldn't hear the end of it. Oh, just jealousy, hatred towards our team. Yeah, I'm going to be working on Labor Day. And you know something else? This great song came out on Labor Day, too. No, that's MGK's shit. MGK came out with a track on Labor Day. I really wanted to cite Kill Shot, but MGK came out with his shit on Labor Day, and Eminem responded to it with Kill Shot. So, happy Labor Day, everybody. God bless. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. Make sure y'all hit the like button. I enjoyed doing this stream. I enjoyed looking down memory lane, It's always good. Let's have a good Eagles season. We're going to be doing some more live streams. We're going to be talking more about the Falcons later on and how we're going to beat them. It's going down this season. We're 6 days away, baby. So that's it. That's all. Subscribe. Make sure you like. Peace. Whereyahidin.